In the history of faith, few events are as profound or as miraculous as the night journey and ascension known as the Isra wal Miraj. It was a journey that transcended the boundaries of time, space, and the physical world. This miracle took place during Amal Huzn, the year of sorrow. It was a time of deep personal grief for Prophet Muhammad. He had lost his beloved wife Khadija, his pillar of support, and his protective uncle Abu Talib. Just before this, his mission to Taif had met with violent rejection, leaving him physically injured and emotionally exhausted. It was in this moment of vulnerability that Allah chose to honor His messenger with a sign of ultimate proximity. An invitation was extended, not just to another city, but to the highest reaches of the heavens. The journey began with a profound purification. The angel Jibril appeared while the Prophet was near the Kaaba. His heart was washed with Zamzam water and filled with a golden vessel of wisdom and faith, preparing him for the divine presence. Then the Burak was brought, a white-winged creature of light, smaller than a mule but larger than a donkey. Its speed was beyond human comprehension. Each stride reached as far as the eye could see. The first phase, Al-Isra, saw the Prophet travel from the great mosque in Mecca to the furthest mosque in Jerusalem. He arrived at Masjid al-Aqsa, a site of immense spiritual significance for all the prophets of the past. He tied the Burak to the same ring used by previous prophets, entering the sacred sanctuary with humility. Inside, a miracle awaited. All the prophets who had ever lived were gathered, waiting for a leader. Jibril pushed Muhammad forward to lead them all in prayer, establishing him as the Imam of all messengers. After the prayer, Jibril offered the Prophet 3 vessels. One contained wine, 1 honey, and 1 milk. The Prophet chose the milk. Jibril smiled and said, "You have chosen the fitrah, the natural way of your people." Then began Al-Miraj, the ascension. They rose through the dimensions of existence toward the 7 heavens. In the first heaven, they met Adam, the father of humanity. He sat with souls to his right and left. He laughed when looking at the souls entering paradise and wept for those entering hell, welcoming his pious descendant. In the second heaven, they were greeted by the cousins Jesus and John the Baptist, who welcomed them with joy. The third heaven belonged to Joseph. The Prophet remarked that Joseph had been given half of all earthly beauty. In the fourth heaven, they met Idris, a prophet known for his high station and devotion to the truth. The fifth heaven brought them to Aaron, the brother of Moses, who was deeply loved by his people. In the sixth heaven, they met Moses. As Muhammad passed, Moses began to weep with a mixture of awe and reflection. He wept because a younger prophet would lead more of his followers into paradise than Moses himself. Finally, they reached the seventh heaven. There stood Abraham, leaning against the frequented house. This is the heavenly counterpart to the Kaaba, where 70,000 different angels enter every single day. Beyond this point lay the Sidrat al-Muntaha, the latte tree of the utmost boundary, the age of all creation. It was covered in such splendors and divine colors that the Prophet said no human language could ever describe them. Even Jibril could go no further. He said, "If I advance a finger's breadth, I shall be consumed by the light." The Prophet continued alone, entering a realm of proximity that no other soul has ever touched. He was in the presence of his Lord, a meeting of such intimacy that the heart did not lie about what it saw. It was here that the gift of Salah, the daily prayer, was given. Initially, 50 prayers were commanded every day. On his way down, Moses advised him to return and ask for a reduction. Knowing the people could not sustain 50, the Prophet went back and forth between Allah and Moses, the number reducing each time until it reached 5. Allah declared, "These 5 are 50 in reward. My word does not change, a mercy for all of humanity. The Prophet descended back to Jerusalem and then returned to Mecca, all before the break of dawn. The next morning, he related the story to the Quraysh. Their response was one of disbelief and mockery. "How can you go to Jerusalem and back in one night?" they asked, knowing a caravan took a month each way. They challenged him to describe Al-Aqsa Mosque, having only been there at night. It was a test of impossible detail. But Allah lifted the veil. A vision of the mosque appeared before him, allowing him to describe every pillar and door. He even told them of a specific caravan he passed, predicting its arrival time in Mecca, which was verified later that day. When they ran to Abu Bakr hoping he would doubt, he replied, "If he said it, then it is true." From that day, he was known as As-Siddiq, the one who confirms the truth without hesitation. The Isra wal Miraj remains a testament to the limitless power of Allah and the high status of His final messenger. It is immortalized in the Quran, a reminder that with faith, the impossible becomes possible. It gave us the gift of Salah, our own daily ascension, a direct link to the divine that we carry with us every day. Just as the Prophet was elevated in his time of sorrow, our prayers serve as a source of strength and elevation for our souls. As we reflect on this miraculous journey, let it strengthen our faith in the unseen and our commitment to the path of light. May we always cherish the connection we have with our Creator, established on that miraculous night.